Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. Dang it, Jordan. You got
I gave it back to you.
Monitor.
We're passing on the phlegm.
I got a little bit of that jitis.
Jesus.
A lot of honey gonna be consumed today. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, a lot to get into on today's episode. Tremaine Edmonds released last night, which means the Bears have cap space. What are they going to do with it? And are you okay if it is not the flashy, splashy play?
Oh, flashy and splashy.
Flashy and splashy, yes. We don't just flash you, we splash you.
Okay.
Here at the Windy City Breeze. And then, with all of the moves that could be made with the team, one of the targets that the Chicago Bears had is now off the board. Tyler Linderbaum has signed with the Chargers. Where is the pivot? You're going big, or maybe a little smaller. Maybe a little smaller. And this is how you pivot. All that and more in today's episode of The Morning Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Big shout out to you guys for showing love. As always, Mr. Meaty himself, Jordan JC, joining me in the building. JC, what's going on, my boy?
What's going on, Pat? Feeling good, feeling great, man. Hopefully this is a good day. Yeah, I was about to say, dude, you really took my issues and magnified them. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm working through it. I'm working through it. Yeah, well, this is the most I've talked today. So we'll see where life takes us.
Had a little bit too much fun yesterday.
Tony Tsunami said, Pat, you wildin'. I thought you ain't have a shirt on. 10 on 10 is a crazy combo.
Man got the nude color on? Oh, no.
Yeah, watch yourself. This show ain't free, baby. Yeah, sign up for Pat the Designer OnlyFans.
Oh boy.
Hey man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Oh,
Yeah, come on, push a button.
It's gonna be a long
You heard what
episode.
she said.
why did I just think about that OnlyFans for you? It's just a bunch of glasses everywhere.
Just glasses.
It's just
glasses and me looking for my glasses.
Whoever has a glasses fetish, sign up to Pat the Designer's OnlyFans. Whoever has glasses fetish. Oh my God.
It's just glasses and just me.
Oh God, that was hilarious. All right. Okay.
Oh man. Hey, let's jump into this conversation, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us as always, because with the cap space that the Chicago Bears have cleared, I believe we are at about $35 million in cap space. Now, that's not active cap space right now because the Drew Dahlman number has not hit the books as of yet. We're still waiting to see what that is going to be. Also waiting to see if the Bears are going to go after Drew Dahlman for the future draft, signing bonus that he was supposed to get, about $4 million there. Courtney Cronin talked on the Chicago Bears podcast yesterday, and she believes that the Bears probably will. At the end of the day, this is business, and in doing business, you have to have honor and integrity. Oh, my Denzel's a little better. But bottom line, we don't know just yet where the Bears are going to end up, what other moves they're going to make, but I would assume that they are still trying to clear some more space on the cap here as this team is moving forward. JC, I ask you this.
Yeah.
With the money that the Bears have cleared, do they have to go big fish hunting for you to feel good coming out of this offseason? And what I mean by that is there is still some positions that we haven't talked a ton about that have to be addressed. The left tackle, you got to find one. Because Dan Rashar has been openly honest. There are traits here of left tackles between the guys that we have.
Right.
But we don't see consistency in those guys. That is Theo Benedette. That is who else is
Jordan
there?
McFadden.
Jordan McFadden. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So essentially, Ozzie Trapillo being hurt really throws things off. You have to sign that position. Would you be okay if instead of going with a Linderbaum, trying to really stick that hard R in there, Linderbaum. If instead of going with a Linderbaum, you go with a McGovern, another hard R.
McGovern, okay.
Would you be okay if instead of going for Maxx Crosby, you go for a Bradley Chubb and you allow this team to do what we did on the offensive side of the football with 4 picks in the top 100 and you build through the draft?
Here's my take on that. I think that I would be okay at the very least if they got one of these big name guys. Like if we didn't address, because everybody's saying maybe we're now in the ballpark of possibly going for Maxx and Tyler Linderbaum and trying to figure this out and work that. But if you were to tell me that, okay, instead of going for Maxx, we do get a Bradley Chubb, but we get someone that's a little bit less expensive, and we do bring in the best center in the league or the best center on the market at least, and then we address all the other issues with the money we have left over, then absolutely yes. Then I'm with that. I'm fine if we go big in one of those positions.
Let's say we don't. Let's say we don't. You go get Connor McGovern. Apples for apples, the Drew Dahlman when you look at it.
Well, you did say that's like getting another Drew Dahlman.
He is legitimately, it feels like another Drew Dahlman. You're putting him between Joe Tooney and them. Let's say you don't go get Maxx. At no point does Ryan Poles say, I'm going to spend massive money at these positions, but we're still going to field a really good team. We're still going to have the coaching staff in place, and we're not getting rid of this draft capital that we have. We now have 4 picks in the top 100 to build in a defense-heavy draft.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pleased with that because I feel like everything that you're doing right now, you're giving up a primary receiver in DJ Moore. You're letting a very good inside linebacker, third highest linebacker paid in the league in Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah, obviously, Dahlman walked. That was something you probably didn't expect before this offseason. And so for me, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't get one of these dudes. So yes, I would be disappointed if we didn't get anybody and we just kind of settled with the secondary options where you do go get McGovern. Even though McGovern is going to solidify the center position and he's decent enough. I believe, what is he, 28 years old? He's decent enough. Yeah. And then you get your Bradley Chubb or someone, or you go get Cam Jordan and Khalil Mack, or you go get Kayvon Thibodeau.
Cam Jordan's an interesting one to watch for now, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pleased with that because I feel like that's what you did last year when you got names that you thought were okay to add to this team, but they weren't necessarily superstars. They weren't necessarily game changers. And so we have to learn from the past. I do trust that they will get it right with the picks that they have in the draft. That's where I do trust this regime to kind of get it right. If you're saying you want to keep all of your picks and fill all of these different holes, whether it be linebacker, whether it be safety, whether it be a left tackle in the draft that you're doing your evaluations on. But for me, I wouldn't be happy if we just kind of came away with those second level options in free agency.
But see, I think this is what's interesting to me. Why? Is there a lack of trust that you're going to find it via the draft? Is there a lack of trust that this coaching staff can get it right? Because I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I mean, you're clearing the cap space. You would assume you're trying to do something, but you do have to re-sign Kevin Byard. You do have to find a left tackle. You do have to find a starting center. You do have to go out and address the defensive line with some sort of veteran, because even if you go out there and you hit every pick in the draft, you're going to want to have a veteran in the building to teach those guys. And is that guy Montez Sweat? Right. So, like, I still think there's a bunch that you're going to have to address via free agency. But if you come out of this offseason, and I'm not saying that you're going superstar bust here, but
Right.
you don't go get the top name that is there. You say we don't want to overspend on a Tyler Linderbaum, who's projected to make $25 million. We're going to go with a Connor McGovern, who's probably going to make about 12. We're going to go with a Bradley Chubb, who's probably going to make around 12 to 15. And we're going to add around the rest of this team. But this is not the future. These are stopgap moves, although I guess McGovern probably would be a little bit of a move for the future because he's only 28 years old. But, like, we're not trying to go big here because we want to go big in this draft. We're trying to get as much draft capital as possible. By the way, if you trade Tyson Bagent away, and I know that people have turned this into, no matter what, the Bears are getting it. Maybe they will. But when Brad Biggs comes out and he goes that the Bears are essentially looking at Tyson Bagent and telling teams, hey, like, you got to pay us what we value him as. So a second or a third round pick, if you can find a second or a third round pick for Tyson, you run to the bank. Like, again, who's got the U-Haul plug? Because we gotta hook my mans up. But, like, the bottom line to me is, do you trust the team to build it via the draft the way that they have done in the past? Because we've seen Dennis Allen go out and find the kind of pass rushers that we want on this team.
Well, you do trust that, excuse me, you do trust it based off of the evidence.
It's a very sick podcast.
It is, boy, it truly is a morning breeze. We're trying to get our coffees and our medicine.
A lot of lung butter.
But I do trust based off of the evidence of last year. You drafted very, very well. You drafted extremely well, and you picked a lot of players that are going to be pivotal to the success of this team for years to come. At different positions, whether it's Colston, whether it's Luther, whether it's Rome, and Kamanung guy. And so I do think that, again, they'll get it right when it comes to the defensive side of the ball in the draft, because I think that's the more where you kind of put more of your attention if we're not going big fish hunting. But I don't know. I'm just scared that if you take the approach of being a little shy in free agency, or I shouldn't say shy, but just being cautious with your money and saying, you know what, we're not going to go for the big fish, because I know Ryan Post said it as much when the combine started in his interview, saying, we're not going to do anything that's going to hamper our future.
Yeah.
We're not going to do anything down the road that's going to put us in a position where we're kind of straining ourselves into being a consistent winning team on the field. And so I respect that, but at the same time, you also got to know when to leap, when to actually make the big move. And I think that's this offseason with all of these different names. I feel like this is the time to do that, because you have a more complete team than the Bears of old when we used to make the big splash. And so I'm torn. I'm honestly torn, bro, when it comes to
I don't think it's a cheap thing though, right? Like, the Bears in the past just went cheap. This is more like a Zach LaVine Bulls question, right? Like,
oh boy, yeah.
Are you spending money in the right place? Speaking of Zach LaVine and the Kings,
Russell Westbrook.
Hey, Russ
went off. I saw that.
Hey, be careful. What do I always say?
Don't talk about.
Don't say nothing on these screens. Don't say nothing on these mics. That when you see these people in person, you not willing to stand on.
Hey, Muggs was quiet in that room.
Muggs was.
It's like, you got something to say? You?
My first thing would have been, well, what's the statement I made you got a problem with?
Yeah, it didn't seem like they knew how to come back.
Nobody knew what to do.
It was just like, all right. Well,
they were just like, oh, God. What? No.
Did y'all expect us to win? No, that was funny.
The messed up part is I think the dudes that he was going at the most are locked on to.
Oh, shoot. You got an affiliation with that.
Hey, bro, listen. I said, I wish the Bulls would hit me up.
That's hilarious. Like, what is it that they would cry about?
I found out the players definitely know we exist. I found out there are certain players whose family members hate me.
Jeez.
The first thing I said was, well, he sucks. What do you want? I don't know what to tell you. He got 18 minutes. And he put on a 6-pack of garbage.
6-pack of garbage is hilarious.
You gotta know. Hey, if you gonna say it on these mics, stand on it when you see him. What they gonna do? Beat you up? I'm praying for somebody beat me up. Yeah. Please whoop my. I need money. The Breezer look great.
No, bring it on. No, but I'm with you as far as like the whole conversation about are we going cheap? Do we go the cheap route? I don't think this is a setup for that. I honestly believe with the money that's been freed up, there has to be at least one big move that won't mess up our future, but also will continue to build on our present now. So if that even means it's just the center position, that's fine. But I don't want to go the middling route, the tier route, what's the best way to put it?
You don't want to go. You want top shelf. You don't want to go mid shelf.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go.
But see, again, that's like why though, right? Like let's say we get Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb's fine.
He's fine, but that's another indication of that's like Montez Sweat.
But you go get Bradley Chubb because your goal is we need rookies that are going to turn into these pieces like you had Luther Burden do, like you had Roma Dunze do, Colston Loveland, Ozzie Trapillo, Kyle Monangai. Like it's not. This is the answer. This is the stopgap to get us to the answer.
Yeah, but is that the answer for this year when we're picking 25th? We're not in the top 10. So why are you even banking on? I'm not saying that there aren't.
I mean, Ozzie Trapillo was picked players. What, 60th?
Yeah. I'm not saying that there aren't players that turn into superstars later in the draft. Like, look at Kavanaugh guy. I understand
look
that
at Maxx Crosby.
You're out. Yeah, yes. But you gotta like really like look and see like, oh my goodness, yeah, this person could be something. Like few and far between are you getting the Jimmy Butlers late in the draft for the Nikola Jokic's and they just turn into just these otherworldly players. So for me, it's like that means you got to really do your due diligence. You're not in the top of the draft where it's just going to come easy to you because you know this guy has all of the talent and supreme and athleticism in the world. So I don't know. I wouldn't go that route.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying that it's the wrong way to go. I'm not saying it's the right way to go. I do think there will be a lot of people if we don't get Maxx Crosby. By the way, the Raiders don't want to get rid of him. That is very clear. The asking price for Maxx Crosby keeps going up.
Yeah.
When the price has been met, it's why the Bears were willing to move what they were willing to move. When the price has been met, they're going, exactly. Well, what if we could, and how about it, and maybe we could. They don't want to get rid of Maxx Crosby.
Yeah, it's like you with the Monopoly game. Yeah, I just add that 100 on just because I want you to.
Yeah, give me that 200. Why? Because I said so.
You shut it up.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you gave me the 200, I was like, all right, here's the deal. Like, the deal is done. I didn't go, now give me 200 more. Now here's two more for you. Now here's 2 more for you. I didn't do that. That's essentially what the Raiders are really doing here. And I think that's the part where it's like, you may not be, like, the Bears are 100% in conversations with the Raiders.
Yeah.
If it gets to a point where the price is too high and you don't come away with Max, I don't then want you to do what essentially the worst thing you can do as a gambler, right? You lost here, so you overspent here. Or you lost here, so you went a different direction and you tried to compensate for the fact that you lost because of the court of public opinions. Like, there's a real world where the Bears don't end up with Tyler Linderbaum. There's a real world where the Bears don't end up with Maxx Crosby. And I don't think, and I feel like a lot of Bears fans would sit there and go, you messed up the offseason. I don't think that you did. You didn't get the splash. But now the focus has to be exactly what we expected the focus to be coming into the offseason before the Bears made all of these moves. You got to build this thing up with young players.
But my thing is, when we had the conversation a couple of weeks back about what all in means this offseason to the Bears, to us, you know, whoever's listening, Breeze Nation, I feel like all in to us means like you're going after the best players because you know the window is wide open and this team is ahead of schedule. And I feel like you're not doing, again, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go about that this way. I understand that, yeah, the draft is just as important. You have to develop through the draft. That's exactly what Ryan Poles has been saying for years. Uh, but now is the time to hit on those guys that want to actually be here. This is a destination where people actually want to come to. Maxx Crosby is telling you, I want to be here. Find a way to get me there. You know, and so for me, that's why I'm saying you go all in. I don't want to half step this. I don't want to be like, oh, okay, well, we got a lot of money now, but let's kind of like slow step this and build through the draft. You can do that also while getting one of these guys that are a game changer.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying you can't, but I do think it's like we're looking at this as if building through the draft with as many picks as the Bears have is going to be a problem. These are top 100 picks. These are supposed to be starters. These are supposed to be elite players.
We got 4 picks in the top
4
100.
picks in the top 100.
90, technically. Yeah.
I mean, like you
89.
Larry Allen is a second round pick. Michael Strahan is a second round pick. Mike Singletary is a second round pick. Like, it's not like you can't find. I know I went to the greats of the greats there, but like, it's not like you can't find good talent in the second round. Heck, we just did it last season. For me, I wouldn't look at it as a failure. It would depend on how the draft rates out. Because here's the bottom line. If you end up with what you got on the defensive end, how you did offensively last year, you're in a all-in scenario. If you end up with the defensive players like you ended up doing in the draft last season, you're in an all-in scenario. Because you've got young players that are making an impact. You've got guys on your team that you drafted that are making an impact, and you have long-term control over. You can now pay your quarterback as much as you want to pay him because everybody's cheap on the team. Like, I wouldn't sit there and go, this is the worst thing in the world. I would sit there and say, you got to hit. Like, I think what it does, I'll say this. I think where Bears fans get concerned, what it does is it puts the pressure on Ryan Poles to do something that we haven't seen him do a ton very well in his time. Now, again, this is with a new coach, new DC, a completely different situation than the now assistant head coach of the defense. I don't even know what that means. In Matt Eberflus for the San Francisco 49ers. But like, I think it just makes us uncomfortable because we haven't seen Ryan hit in those spots. But we also haven't seen Ryan go after it defensively with Dennis Allen in those spots.
Exactly.
And I think that is a difference maker. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, like, we always throw Khalil Mack out there. We always throw Trey Hendrickson out there. I believe that DA was also the DC when Cam Jordan showed up.
Yeah, he played for Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan played for him. Yeah.
Do we think that he just forgot how to find these pieces?
No.
I know
Cam
that
Jordan, I believe, had 10.5 sacks last year. It's not like if you get him, he wouldn't have an impact. I don't want to shy away from getting the best of the best. Like, if you were to go for Cam Jordan, I guess I'm fine with that, because if Dennis Allen brings someone like of his pedigree in here, clearly he's saying there's something still left in the tank. But Cam Jordan's an older version of himself. Like,
well, I brought him up to talk about, like, I think DA was the DC when they drafted him.
Oh, okay, I got you. I believe he did pick him in the draft. Yes.
Yeah.
And again, that's where you have your trust, right, with this whole thing. If you need a left tackle, you trust that maybe with Dan Richard's, evaluating certain prospects, if you need to try and find someone that's going to shore up that part of the line, with Trapillo, probably not going to be here until the end of next season, I trust that's going to work out, and they're going to pick the right guy. I've talked about a few prospects at center if we don't go the center route, but I'm not saying that I don't trust this staff and this this group of people and Ryan Poles together to get it right. I think they will. but I would also like before the draft to make the right decision and just shore up some other holes. That's my only concern. I would not be cool with coming away from this if we were, because I talked to Joel about this yesterday, and he was saying Trey Hendrickson and initially said Trey Hendrickson and Tyler Biotish. We know we're going to talk about this soon. That Tyler's out, but
Tyler's out.
Trey Hendrickson, the fear of me with him is like one injury and you're back down. And I understand injuries are part of the game, but that's my concern with that. And so again, I want the best of the best. I just stand on it. I want the best of the best. Man.
Yeah, you just want to go big fish hunting. You want
get
that
my
excitement.
trout.
You want that
I gotta
fire.
get that salmon. I'm gonna hold it up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold it up. There's Max. Here's Max.
Let's hope you don't cut it open and it's an old salmon and that meat's a little
Crosby and
a little old.
Crosby and Linderbaum right here, baby.
Listen, I wouldn't be mad at it either. Like, I think that's the funny part about it. Like, if the Bears went the draft route, I'd be like, okay, cool. Got to make sure you hit. We're not gonna know until we get to the season. If the Bears went, like, if I could pick one, y'all know I'm in on the center. And Tar Hoggy with the super chat, he said, I'd say if we had to choose, I'd go with Linderbaum over Crosby simply because Caleb success is more important. We could trade up in the draft for an edge. And now we really can. Like, now you have enough picks where you could trade up in the draft for an edge. But like, even in that situation, like, if the Bears sat there and were like, we're going to get Tyler Linderbaum, Maxx Crosby, it is what it is, because we see how strong the edge class is in this draft, or we see how strong the defensive tackle class is in this draft, and we'll address it in free agency a different way. Like, I'd just be like, all right, look, we got to trust you because you found ways to make this work, but you can't miss. And it puts the pressure in a spot where we haven't seen you be very successful. Javon Dexter's fine. He's not good. You cut Zach Pickens. That pick is a 3rd round pick. Right? Again, you got Matt Eberflus in there, not Dennis Allen. I think that says a lot. But you cut Zach Pickens. You moved on from what's old boy, the defensive tackle in the middle that we brought in. Another defensive tackle, defensive end that we brought. I can't even think of their name. Like, you moved on from so many of these pieces because it didn't end up working out. Because they didn't develop at the rate that you thought they were going to develop. Heck, if we're being honest, Dominique Robinson might not be back. Now, he's a later round pick. I'm not as worried about him. But this is yet again somebody that you took a swing on at picks that can be impactful with players around him in that draft that look pretty good, where you said he's going to turn into this next piece.
Daniel Hardy?
No, Daniel Hardy probably.
No, that wasn't Daniel Hardy.
Daniel Hardy.
I feel
probably
like I know who you're
talking
about. He was
Relentless Mikey said we want a meaty swordfish steak this offseason. Nah,
that's right. The big cat.
Brandon Green with the super chat. He said, "Question: how do y'all really feel about Rome and Luther? I like them, but can they be trusted to be the guy to make a game-winning catch?"
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. More than likely, I tweeted this out yesterday. Everybody's worried about who's wide receiver 1. The conversation is tight end 1's about to take off.
There you go.
That's the bottom line for me. Everybody's, who's going to be the wide receiver 1? Who's going to be the wide receiver? I watched Andy Reid move on from Tyreek Hill and go win 2 more Super Bowls, 3 more Super Bowls. How many Pat got? Pat got 4?
I feel like Pat only got 3. He might have 4. I feel like Pat only got 3. I could be wrong.
I don't know. That's a good question.
3.
Pat got 3?
Yeah.
He's
got
been
3.
to
4? 3.
No,
right.
I he's lost 2.
Lost.
No, he's been to 5. He lost to Philly and he lost to Tom.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay.
Yep. Lost to Tampa Bay. Yeah, listen, the conversation for me is about how do you build that relationship?
Yeah.
The wide receivers are going to be wide receivers. That's great. We're going to have a good time. Let's hope that we have a high-powered offense and we're able to move forward with it. What's Colston Loveland doing this weekend?
I think it's going to be the same conversation we had this year of kind of like evenly distributing the ball around the field. When you have as many weapons as we do, even with the subtraction of DJ Moore, you might have the addition of Jade Walker, who is a very underrated wide receiver 3. Watch out for him. Or we still got, don't we still have Olamide Zaccheaus on the roster?
No, OZ's a free agent. It was a 1-year deal, but we could re-sign him back.
Agent.
I mean, he made $2 million.
Okay, so you still got a really nice wide receiver core. And to me, it doesn't matter. Now, I heard some people say that, well, if Rome Odunze is not your wide receiver 1, then there's something really wrong because he was not the number 9th pick.
Well, he
should be. He should be your number 1.
Yes.
He should be. We'll see if he gets back to what he should have been doing, like I said at the beginning of last year. But I agree with you. It's really on the connection between tight end 1 and quarterback 1 that you built this off of. And again, that's why the draft has to hit. Again, when you make these early picks, now that you don't have a top 10 pick or a top 15 pick, you have to hit on these picks in order for them to have that kind of impact that we've seen where Colston kind of came along, and now he's arguably already in the top 10 conversation of tight ends in the league, and you can tell that his trajectory is constantly going up. And so that's the big thing, is drafting properly, drafting right. And we may have even more draft picks. You never know. With Tyson Bagent talking about maybe there's a need for him, whether it's Arizona, whether it's another team that's desperate, we might get a second for Tyson Bagent.
You know
maybe
what? I hope, and this is the reality of the Bagent situation. What we know about Poles. Poles not going to send you to a bad situation. Arizona, a bad situation.
Is it though for him?
Your offensive lineman that you can count on is what? Paris Johnson
Jr.
Who you standing behind? Paris Johnson Jr.
I mean, there's
that
not
Arizona
a lot of
offensive line is. Now I don't know if there's a great situation for you, but like,
right?
I'm not gonna lie. I gotta stop saying that. Danny had called me out on that every time. He'd be like, every time you say I'm not gonna lie, it makes me think you've lied to me the entire time. I think Pittsburgh is a situation to keep an eye on.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
I think that now that's an offensive line that's not great, but I think it's an offense that speaks to you can survive a little bit better without an O-line, veteran head coach, something that you like. He's not going to send Tyson to a bad situation.
Well, they owe us a higher pick this time because last time we gave him Justin for less than what we should have gotten back. So maybe they do a little like,
But either way, like the thing that I know, no matter what, is and it comes down to, does Tyson want to go? Like if they go to Tyson and say, Tyson, listen, you got the greatest job in the world. You don't have to do nothing and you're making so much money. You don't have to get hit. Do you want to go be a starting quarterback somewhere? If he's like, yeah, I want to go be a starting quarterback, they're going to send him somewhere that's an advantageous situation for him. Is that Miami? Right. Is that they're not? I guess if the Vikings offer you a second, you got to do it.
Really? You're going to put Tyson Bagent in the division?
Well, the problem is they would have to give you so much draft capital because of it.
You're dang right.
You would be in a good spot, but it's nasty. Nasty. But I do look around, and I think Malik, what that boy name is, Malik Willis, is once he gets his contract done, that's when we'll probably see Tyson end up getting moved around because there's a couple of teams vying for his services.
Okay.
But if he wants to go, like, hey, I want to be a starter. Send me somewhere I can start. Well, like, I don't know if Arizona's the answer. I think they're probably gonna take less draft capital to send him to a better spot.
Don't do it. Don't do it this time, Ryan. This is not the offseason to do that crap. Don't you appeal to your emotional side. You better put on that king hat and do what you got to do that's best for this team. That is your obligation. Your responsibility is to the Bears first and foremost. I understand you love your players. You want them to go off to greener pastures. Sometimes those green pastures need to not be green. Like you sacrificed enough.
Sometimes your pastures need to suck.
Yeah, you've taken the high road enough. This is not the offseason to be nice.
He's not going. All right, let's look at teams that need a quarterback. Dolphins is a maybe. Dolphins is a maybe situation. He's not sending them to the Jets.
Didn't they say Tua is already going to be let go at the beginning of the
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of Tua. They get rid of Tua.
Okay.
Browns is not a bad. That's kind of a bad situation offensively. New coach, all of that, probably not. Titans would be interesting. Colts could be a name.
Daniel Jones?
The Colts could be. Well, it depends on if they get this deal done with Daniel Jones. They say they nowhere near on numbers. They said Daniel Jones came in and asked for a number that was absolutely insane.
He said, hey, I deserve this.
So Colts could be something to watch for. Raiders, I doubt he gets sent there. Broncos don't need a QB. Chargers don't need a QB. Chiefs don't need a QB.
Jets.
Inside of the NFC, Giants probably need a QB, but they don't know it yet. Vikings I'm telling you, Vikings is interesting.
Oh boy.
Is Falcons is there a conversation for Falcons?
Where he might be
go down there and try and beat out Michael Penix?
Yeah. That's a good team to go to if he's trying to.
And Ian's down there.
Yeah, you got Drake London.
Maybe you could get it done for 2 third-round picks.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah.
Saints actually don't need a quarterback. Tyler Shucks is actually really good.
Yeah, I think they trust him.
And then it's the Cardinals.
There's teams.
Then it's the Cardinals.
You've mentioned a handful of teams that are willing to look at Tyson and say, you can be our starter. And I expect decent to really good draft value back. So again, that goes all back into our conversation about if we're going big fish hunting or not. Like you adding more draft capital to, the possible trade of a Maxx Crosby. Like if you let go of Tyson for a second, you add that in with it. Let's go. So
I'm all for trading newly acquired draft capital, by the way. In my brain, it don't exist.
Right.
So, like, if you find a way to get a second for Tyson, you're like, listen, we'll offer you a first. We're not giving you 2 firsts, but we'll give you these 2 new seconds that we got.
Just imagine if we have those 2 thirds, 2 new seconds and a third. We wouldn't have to give up any first.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm that's a different conversation for me. We'll see what ends up happening there. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, JC. We do have over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat.
All right.
Over 300 in the chat.
All right.
300.
Good morning.
If you're in the chat right now, man, and you have not done so, make sure you hit that thumbs up, man. Make sure that you hit the notification bell as well so you get notified every single time we go live. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Let's finish it out with this, JC, as a very, very interesting conversation with everything that we've just had here. You're kind of asking the question that we've been talking about the entire time. Go big or go solid? The center position is a question for the Bears, and Tyler Biadasz was somebody that the Bears immediately brought in once we found out about the retirement of Drew Dahlman. He is now signed with the Los Angeles Chargers. I hate the name changes. I want to say San Diego so much.
San Diego so bad.
He is now signed with the Los Angeles Chargers, and with him off the board, there's 2 names that I'm looking at. Are you going McGovern or are you going Linderbaum? And you've got the money to do either one here, but again, keep in mind, left tackle is a real concern.
Left tackle is a concern, but again, if you wanna keep Caleb Williams upright.
Calvin Williams.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought about C-Dub. If you wanna keep Caleb upright as he's been the last season, then you go for the best. Again, a young guy, rarely find them on the market, but because of Baltimore's salary issues, like that's the opportunity that you have now of getting someone who is at the top of the league at his position and can solidify that line once again. We said it wasn't an issue, and now with the 2 holes being needed to fill at left tackle and center, we got to get that right. And so you go for the best. Now, do you settle for Connor McGovern if just by any chance Tyler Lindenbaum gets paid by somebody else? Sure, I'd be happy with that. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's like replacing the same guy in Drew Dahlman. That's fine. As long as Caleb is upright. But I want to go for the best first and then worry about everything else later.
You know how I feel about O-line.
Yeah.
Don't shortchange that. We've been doing that for too long. Do not shortchange that. Now, there are some who would say, right, and I think I saw Clay Harbor talking about this, where he's like, listen, like, realistically, Tyler Linderbaum is not that much better than Connor McGovern. It's marginal things at best that are the difference makers. Now, what I would say to this, and listen, he played the NFL. I give him, he knows more football than I'll ever know with that. But one thing that I would say is marginal gets you beat. Things that end up being marginal could be the difference in you going to the NFC title game or going out in the second round. Marginal is if Caleb throws that pass a little closer and DJ and him are on the same page. That's marginal. But it's the difference in your season continuing or not. I think what most teams pay for in situations like this, when you're paying the extra, is the margin. And if you're giving me that extra margin, if you're going to block a little longer, if you're going to push somebody a little further and it opens up the hole just a little bit more, that could be the difference in you scoring a touchdown on the goal line or sitting at home. And so with me, when I look at Tyler Linderbaum, I'm not going to say that he's light years better than Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern also, like if you want to say two best run games in football, it was the Bears and the Bills. Connor McGovern was the center for the second best run game in football overall last season.
Yeah, that's
and maybe the best run game if you want to talk about consistency, because the Bears kind of tailed off at the end of the season there a little bit. But I'm willing to pay the extra to make sure that I cover the margin. And so for me, Tyler Linderbaum, it would be the biggest answer. It would be like, it tells you how important Caleb Williams is. And I think, my takeaway from this offseason with moving on from DJ, with is how the Bears are moving right now with some of the releases and things that they've made. It's all because we think Caleb's going to lead us in the future. We think Caleb's going to get us to the next step. We think Caleb's going to, it's because of Caleb. So go get Caleb the best. I'll give you case in point with it. They didn't shortchange Tom Brady at any point on that offensive line. Heck, Tom took pay cuts so his offensive line could get paid. I was like, how much he need? Yeah, take a few million from me. That's good. Make sure he's there. Because if he's not there, I'm in trouble. I can trust him to guard my backside. Make sure he's there.
Exactly.
I'm paying for the margin. Give me the best of the best.
Give me the best of the best. And you said as much. I feel like when you're investing the most in a guy that protects your quarterback, you're also investing the most in your quarterback.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, I want to give you the best chance of being the best version of yourself. I want to give you the best chance of making sure you're staying upright and healthy. I want to give you the best chance of being the best quarterback in the league. Like, that's what you're saying when you're investing the money. Because remember, not that long ago, we had the cheapest offensive line in the league.
Oh, did we now?
And it was what was your song?
I can't really hit the notes right now.
We saw how that turned out. It's like when you put money into an issue, it works out. That's the whole point of investing money into getting the best players. Because yes, even though Connor McGovern is doable, you want that extra little bit of sauce, that extra little bit of juice that you're going to get from Tyler Linderbaum. And again, looking at the age, 25, you don't usually see those guys be available on the market and be at the top of their craft, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah.
You rarely see that. And so now you have an opportunity to really just pencil that position in for the next however many years if you get this guy. So again, invest in your line so that you can invest in your quarterback.
I'm here for it, man. Let's hope that the Bears find a way to actually get something done there. I wouldn't be mad at McGovern. I wouldn't. I think to me, Connor McGovern and Drew Dahlman, you know, they're kind of they're basically this. You know what I mean? It's like, what would scare me a little bit is like, is McGovern like, I'm retiring next? No,
1 year and then he's gone.
But
did he go to Stanford?
Yeah, oh, you got to watch him. You got to watch those Stanford guys. We got to stop putting that on Stanford. There's so many Stanford guys that stayed in the NFL.
No, I know.
And to be honest with you, Andrew Luck is the one that we kind of point at and we're like, he retired way earlier than anybody thought. Andrew Luck got murdered.
Yes, he did not have a line.
One of my favorite
and then when
things,
they got him a line, he was already hurt.
One of my favorite things, I got a chance to talk to one of the defensive coaches about Andrew Luck. And I was like, what was the hardest thing about defending? What was the hardest thing about, you know, calling defenses to try and slow him down? And he was like, bro, he liked getting hit. I've never seen a quarterback that liked getting hit. You would hit him and he would play better. And then you would hit him again and he would throw a touchdown. And you just be like, he's like, the goal of everything with every quarterback is hit him, get in his face, he's uncomfortable. Like Andrew Luck was so good, he'd get hit and get more comfortable. I've never seen that.
So what you're saying is that he shouldn't have retired then.
Well, it got to a point where he literally couldn't get his body back right.
Am I tripping or didn't he walk off? What happened?
No, he retired. He retired in the preseason game. Remember when?
Right. Okay.
What was the coach?
I thought he walked off.
What was the No, what's his name? Walked off. AB walked off. Antonio Brown
did do a victory lap. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
But no, he was on the sideline though. He like I forget who it was. Was it Terry or Teddy Bridgewater? Was the backup there? And he's like standing there as everybody's finding out. He said, as you were standing on the sidelines, you just hear the doom, the doom, the doom, the doom, 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 all around the stadium. And everybody's like, what? What? And so like Teddy's like, what the heck is going on? Are we about to like get murdered or something? Well, it was like, yeah, I'm retiring. He was like, you what? You're telling me this now?
Get in there. That's hilarious.
Oh, man. We'll see what the Bears end up doing. Hopefully this turns out to be a fun offseason for the offensive line yet again, and I get my bookend tackles. Couple of super chats before we get up out of here. Brandon Green with the $5 super chat said, Jordan's only here saying we got a pimp. Jordan only here saying we got to be a pimp named Slickback with Tyler Bagent.
Oh, yeah. Give me my money. I want all the second round picks for Tyson.
666 with the hey JC, since we got rid of Maine, I can't do what I said yesterday about running down Michigan Avenue.
Y'all rats.
Yeah. I'm a little upset about that, aren't you?
Trying to get that footage.
Got some weird things going on, man. Kind of a weird guy, JC. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kind of a weird guy. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Bear down, one love. For Mr. Media himself, George JC. It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. The best show for Chicago sports.
666, man. You can still do it and put a wager on it.
You're a weird dude, JC.
No, I'm not weird. I'm just saying.
You're a weird dude, man.
I'm giving the people what they want. I'm sure they're somebody.
I don't know if the people want to see a man running naked down Michigan Avenue, bro. I don't think that's what the people want to see.
I gotta go see them before. I mean, come on.
Have we?
I'm
Do
sure it's
you have
happened.
previous footage of this?
I'm sure it's happened. I don't. I don't have any archive.
Oh, God. I'm uncomfortable. I'm in danger.